Madam Clerk, if you could call the next item on the agenda.
Yes, sir. Committee substitute for ordinance number 160267, estimating revenue in the amount of $1,395,256,000 in the Capital Improvement Fund, appropriating that amount to Route 152 Trail Segment 8 and 9 account, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute an amended and restated funding agreement with the Tax Increment Financing Commission, authorizing a contract with Pyramid Excavation and Construction Incorporated for approximately $1,537,000 for Route 152, Trail Segments 8 and 9, FED number STP 3400437, designating requisitioning authority and recognizing this ordinance as having an accelerated effective date.
Thank you, and I do believe you read the committee substitute for this ordinance, so thank you. Ralph, if you're...
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Ralph Davis with Public Works. I also have Wes Minder out of the manager's office with me. And what you have before you is an ordinance to construct some trails up in the Northland. And the reason we did have a committee substitute because we are trying to advance this as quickly as we can to make it fit into the existing construction season. And so we actually got the ordinance introduced before the contracts were actually open last week. So the substitute does insert the names and the amounts of the contracts that have been executed. I'd also like to call out that on the amended fact sheet that we do have a DBE because it does have federal funds in the amount of 35.85%. Which was over the goals of 20% for DBE utilization in conjunction with federal projects. This project does also have federal funds and has matching funds that come from the TIF funds. So there's many things here. We are excited to build more trails up in the Northland. If this project does move ahead, it will be completed this construction season. And we would love to answer any specific questions that you may have.
Well, thank you for the presentation. You know, if you could maybe talk about the trail a little bit more. He's pulling up the slide right now. I know that this was done in, I believe, 12 different segments or so, and this is 8 and 9. And could maybe talk about the further development out on 150 as well.
Okay, I think I may let Mr. Minder speak a little bit to the trail concept. I think it was one of his original concepts.
Good morning, Chairman Reed, members of the committee, Wes Minder at the manager's office. The 152 trail system has been broken up into multiple segments for specifically funding purposes. The Mid-America Regional Council, under their federal highway program, has what's called the Transportation Alternative Program, and those are $500,000 grants that are competitively awarded throughout the Kansas City region. And fortunately, we've projects along 152, which is a limited access freeway, which lacks any bicycle pedestrian facilities, tend to score very well because they provide a transportation alternative on a corridor that's mostly developed with residential, commercial, and it gets the whole connection of residents to jobs and then also retail services. The 152 segment, the ultimate goal for that corridor is to be our east-west connection between Tiffany Springs Park out on the western part of the city over to Maple Woods Community College, which is approximately a mile away from here, and then also will continue with the Shoal Creek system and then existing stuff that's already been put in place in the Shoal Creek Valley. This project again has funding from the KCI Corridor TIF. That TIF plan is a 100% public infrastructure TIF plan. So all the sales tax, half the sales tax within the district are returned to the area for public infrastructure improvements. And since this project that TIF plan does redirect the city and Platte County's half-cent parks and sales taxes, these taxes are being used for their intended purposes, and we're leveraging those funds with the federal funds to complete the system. The big thing about this project is there's the YMCA Challenger Park, which is a fully ADA accessible facility owned and operated by the YMCA. It gets a lot of use for programming, then also recreational play. This connects the Line Creek system and the other parts of the Line Creek, or the 152 trail, to that system, and then also the Pathfinder Elementary and Berry Park Middle School, which is a Platte County school district complex, and connects all those residents to that school. So we do have the option for folks to bike and walk to school. Not everyone up north does have access to a vehicle. There is a transit line along Berry Road, but this will provide an option and connections for folks who choose to use bicycles to access that ATA route to get where they need to go.
And up in that sort of corner, it looks like, I don't know what that.
We are looping around right there. You do have a big monster cloverleaf interchange with 152 and 169, and we are looping around. It is also kind of key to note that at the southeast corner of the 152 and Platte Purchase interchange is where the new Costco is going, and we have coordinated these plans with the new Costco. We are actually doing some grading and excavation to bring the highway side slopes down to improve visibility of that site, and then this will eventually connect over to the redevelopment at Metro North Mall on the other side of 169. So it kind of a lot of area along 152 is car-oriented. This does come in and provide some multimodal options for folks to get to those retail services.
Okay. Any additional questions from the committee? Council Member Justice.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. So looking at this map that, I don't know if you can see it or if it's just us that can see it, the green on the left of the map I'm looking at is existing trail. That's the Line Creek Trail.
Yes.
And then at the completion of this project, which could be, barring no troubles, the end of the summer or the end of the construction season, will be the white stretch all the way over with the loop?
Yes.
All of that will be completed?
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Any additional questions? Council Member Fowler.
And I will point out that Councilwoman Justice just discovered the Line Creek Trail personally the other day, and Wes, I'm always excited about your projects because they turn out beautifully. And Line Creek Trail and Shoal Creek Trail are both perfect examples of that. My only question is, I'm looking at where the white line goes over near the green line, the Line Creek Trail. Will they? I assume they're going to be able to connect over there. I just don't see a connection in there.
Yes, there's a existing crossing there, which wasn't shown on the green line, but there's an existing crossing and curb cuts on the Line Creek Parkway, and this will be seamless and cross. And I would like to point out that all of these projects were done cooperatively between the Water Services, Public Works, and Parks and Recreation. The reason why they look so good is because our staff during the construction inspection was out there on the job making sure that the job got done, and then also that the Parks and Recreation Department has stepped up and maintained the system as we built it.
And this will be done into this construction season?
Contractually, yes. The contract is set up to have the concrete done towards the end of September, the seeding and landscaping done by October, with the anticipation that we would have cleanup, but everything would be perfect and ready to use next spring.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair McManus.
Oh, thanks. And I will echo the comments. This is more just a comment, Wes, that I'm excited about this, although it's nowhere near my district. I just think that it's just so exciting to see, and I will. It's exciting to see, I think, the way we are integrating development with trail development and the public amenities that come with that. And we are seeing that out south. Obviously, Cerner's called the trails, but the city has such a great history with trails. And I think it's a way not only to preserve that history, but to provide access to folks and alternative ways of getting around and healthy ways to get around. So I'm just excited about this project, and thanks for all your hard work, both everybody with Public Works and the manager's office in getting this done.
Councilmember Justice.
Sorry, and what is the surface of it going to be?
It will be 10-foot wide concrete trail.
Okay, and 100% of it will be trail and not transferring over to a public street?
Yes, all of this will be completely separated from public streets.
Thank you.
Additional questions? Seeing none, any further comments?
Sure.
Any questions, comments from the public? Seeing none, We'll take recommendation for this committee substitute.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that committee substitute for ordinance number 160267 be reported out of this committee with recommendation of advance and do pass.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ordinance passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could call our next item on the agenda.